Hello. My name is Callista, and welcome back to Dragon Age Inquisition. In the last episode, we were in the hinterlands, taking out some red lyrium deposits with Varric, like you do, and if you recall, I was a little bit stumped for what I was gonna do next, and I have been thinking about it, and I have decided we are going to leave the hinterlands behind for a little while. The Hessarian Blades, all the way at the Storm Coast, they've been causing trouble. We really do need to take them out. However, first, I am going to stop off at Haven, just so that I can have my advisors do a couple of things on the war table, and then we are going to hop straight over to the Storm Coast. Now then, I do have an announcement to make, I guess, some bad news to deliver. I'm hoping that... Here's the thing. Things are going on in the KallistaPlays household right now. Things are not great. So far, things could be worse. Don't get me wrong, things could be worse. And if I do have to take a hiatus from YouTube, then I'll make a proper video announcement.
I thought the Chant of Light bound us all together.
The Chant of Light is beautiful, sister, but it's just words. People need more than that right now. They need action. Look at Mother Giselle. You could do worse than follow her example.
I can agree with that. Mother Giselle... The issues I have with Giselle are the same issues I have with Wynne. She presents herself as this very oh, I'm so understanding, I'm a listening ear, I won't judge you, none of that, oh, I'm so motherly. But in actual fact, she's oh, your opinions are wrong and stupid, my opinions are right. And any kind of differing opinion, once you get to my age, you'll realise how stupid you're being. And she dismisses other people's feelings so quickly, when Aenor was I feel uncomfortable being called the Herald of Andraste, she was just well, that's not my fucking problem, is it, Herald? Not very understanding in the slightest. I also really don't like how she treats a specific companion. I'm being purposefully vague there. I don't like how she treats a specific companion. But at the same time, I can respect the fact that she was in the hinterland, she was helping out the refugees, and when the Inquisition scouts arrived and were hey, we're here to take you to safety, her response was, no, fuck that, I'm not gonna leave these people, because if I leave, you will have no incentive to bring soldiers here to protect these people. I will leave when these people are protected, and sure, I may get hurt, I may even die, but I'm not gonna leave these people, so I do respect her for that. Now then, as I was saying, things aren't exactly great in the KallistaPlays household. We have been, at long last, we have been struck down with the virus. My dad got it first, and, we all live together, so we all have ended up getting it. My mum so far hasn't. However, that's her husband. That's her husband, so she's gonna get it eventually. My dad, so far, he's had very mild symptoms, and knock on wood, it stays that way. So far, I think for him, the worst symptom has been that he's been very sluggish, very lethargic. He is triple jabbed, but I worry about him because of his age. He's in his late 70s. Yes, I said that correctly. Yes, I am 26. I know that is he's a lot older than most people my age's parents. That was not good English, but you get what I mean. Most 26-year-olds do not have parents who are in their 70s, but that's my family. Don't judge us. Yeah, I'm worried about him because of his age. Fingers crossed he keeps on with his mild symptoms. For me, I think the things I've noticed is that, one, aside from, like, the coughing, the sniffling, all of that, I'm having a lot of trouble speaking, which is not great, considering I do Let's Plays. Really not great. I've noticed it's almost like my tongue isn't as dexterous. I find myself slurring a lot more often and biting my tongue, that actually happened when I got my jabs. So that isn't really too surprising, but the thing that kind of worries me most, I'm finding myself rather out of breath. Like, right now, I'm pretty out of breath. And I'm sat down talking. I shouldn't be. I really shouldn't be having this issue, and that is, it's rather concerning. Aside from that, mild symptoms. Again, knock on wood, it stays that way. However, if it gets worse, I may have to take a hiatus. I'll make a proper, video update on it then. However, considering you people are watching my main series, you get advance warning, so...
That's nothing to do with fairness. We simply can't accommodate them if they bring that many servants.
I will speak to the Duchess. She can be reasoned with, after a fashion.
Alright. Now then, give me the money. Excuse me, would like, thank y'all. Choose a successor in Leeds. Commander Cullen, my husband informs me that I have your Inquisition soldiers to thank for the timely intervention that protected my carriage from an attack by bandits not long ago. The roads are indeed dangerous these days, and as the Duchess of Leeds, I will do my best to improve their safety. Please convey my gratitude to all who helped ensure my safety in these trying times. Yours, Duchess Carolina of Leeds. Thank you. And utilize the Grey Warden treaties. I was correct. Spreading word that the Inquisition was allied with the Grey Wardens meant messages of support poured in. With the treaties in hand, we've managed to secure new recruits and donations of both gold and equipment. The commander will put them to good use. Josephine. Excellent. Now then, the only one we have left is Truth or Dare the Imperial Court, and off the top of my head, I think I wanted Josephine. Yep, that's why. A letter addressed to Vivienne lies opened on the table. A note has been added to the top, which reads, Josephine, darling, you should take care of this. V. My dearest Vivienne, you cannot have heard the shocking allegations against the Inquisition, or surely you would never have been seen with them. Allow me, as a friend, to open your eyes. People are saying that Divine Justinia is indeed alive, but that the Inquisition, her closest advisors and most trusted servants, have orchestrated all this chaos on her orders. That it was Seeker Pentegast and Sister Nightingale who sabotaged the Conclave in order to eliminate opposition within the Chantry and cut off the heads of the Mage Rebellion and Templars in a single stroke. To save your own reputation, you must escape this acquaintance immediately. With deepest concern, Vicomtesse Elodie de Moreau. Now, considering that Vivienne has requested Josephine personally, I see no reason to deny that request. However, for shits and giggles, let's see what the other advisors would have suggested. Cullen says, we can't prove the Divine is dead, but we could escort people to the crater to see it for themselves. Liliana says, proving the Divine's death would just be used against us. We need to find the source of this rumour. And Josephine says, we need the support of the nobles to combat this rumour. I can arrange a few key visits. And again, Vivienne is requesting Josephine. I'm happy to allow that.
Let us begin.
Indeed. And, if you don't mind, we've been having Liliana do this, so, Cullen.
All right.
Maybe some money. And off to the Storm Coast we go. Fast travel. Indeed. I'm feeling Iron Bull, Varric, and Solus. I'm feeling them today. Now, the first thing I want to do is go deal with the Hessarian Blades. They're dicking about. They're killing Inquisition scouts who venture, too far away from camp.
You're a damn fine marksman. How do you manage that while staring up at everyone's ass the whole time?
In a world of tall people, you find ways to keep them from tripping over you.
You ever get the asses mixed up?
If I do, Tiny, you'll be the first to know.
I love that Varric's nickname for Bull is Tiny. That's adorable. Now, a bull, apparently you have a level. Let me find my notes. Where were we for you? Okay. We want to grab this. Excellent. Okie doke. And back to my timer. Lovely jubbly. Yes. Clearinghouse. Clearinghouse? Cleaning house? Whatever it's called. We're going to go do that first. And I believe we can just... Oh, hello? You alright? Hi there. Would you like to do a spin? Oh, excuse you. Jump back and do a spinny spin. Woo! Oh my god, Aenor! What the hell was that? Aenor, girl! Are you okay? Aenor, like, have you been taking dance classes or something? Those were some amazing pirouettes. Holy shit. Damn, girl, that was impressive. If you ever wanted to stop being a warrior and become like a ballerina or something, fuck it, you could do it. You could do that, girl. Now then, as I was trying to say, I believe we can just make our way around the mountain. And I think we should come upon the Hessarian camp. Hold up, I am wearing the Mercy's crest. Aenor, I think she wants as little bloodshed as possible. Beware of falling rocks. Okay. Yeah, they have killed our people, and that Aenor doesn't approve of that. But at the same time, I don't think Aenor believes in, like, oh, you killed someone, therefore we must kill you. I don't think she believes in, like, capital punishment. I think someone would have to do something really fucked up. Like, really fucked up. And they show, like, no remorse, no guilt. They're like, oh, I'd do it again. I'd murder those kids all over again. Fuck you. Like, it would have to be something like that for her to be like, okay, there is no redemption in you. Like, this cannot be allowed to stand. I think with most other cases, I think Aenor's like, you need to, one, you need to make sure that you feel guilt, you feel remorse, try to improve yourself. Hello, Ram friend. Are you doing okay? Oh, excuse me. Pardon me. No, you don't. It's panicking. It's panicking. No. Stop pushing me. Thank you. Are you going to come besiege this place with us, Ram friend? Are you... I take that as a no. Yeah, I think in most cases, as long as they feel guilty, they show remorse, like they realise that I did a fucked up thing, I think in most cases, Aenor would be like, okay, like, either sentence you to prison or some sort of community service, like, make reparations to whomever you wronged, that kind of thing. And with the Blades of Hessarian... Solus, did you trip over a branch and hit your head? Like, what was that about? With the Blades of Hessarian... Also, yeah, I thought there was a logging camp here. With the Blades of Hessarian, the kind of vibe she got from that piece of paper we found in the, oh, bugger, what was it? In the camp. where we found the Inquisition soldiers' bodies. The vibe that Aenor got was that, especially because that letter had been placed, it had been placed so delicately and neatly. It was almost like someone was saying, hey, I want you to find this. Like, she gets the feeling that, like, whoever is currently in charge of these blades, that's the person she needs to be angry with. Everyone else is just kind of, I guess, following orders and like, oh, we're cultists, we believe we're weapons, we go wherever we are wielded. Like, that's a level of, I don't want to say crazy, but, you know, that's a level of cultist belief. You can't really argue morality with those people. If they genuinely believe, like, no, I'm a weapon, I'm not a person. You don't blame the blade for killing someone, you blame whoever wields the blade. And in this case, I am a blade. You can't argue morality with that. We need to be arguing morality with whoever is wielding that blade at this stage. Now then, alright chaps. Hello?
Someone's come with a challenge.
The others failed.
Indeed, but I intend to succeed. Also, what lovely decorations you have. Isn't that nice? Now then. Hello, dickhead.
So you would challenge the Blades of Hessarian?
Also, look at this man. Look at him, he's a giant flipping heck. We don't have to fight. I represent the Inquisition. Ooh. I don't know here. On one hand, Aenor, she does want to resolve this with as little bloodshed as possible. That's just kind of how Aenor rolls. I mentioned this before, despite the fact that she is a two-handed, you know, warrior, she's not this like, oh, I'm gonna fuck you up, yay, violence. Like, that's not who she is. She isn't the attack dog of the Dalish. She is the guardian of the Dalish. That is how she has always seen herself. She is a defender, not an attacker. So on one hand, I can see her being like, hey, I'm trying to resolve this peacefully. I've got this Mercy's Crest doodad that I read about. You know, like, we don't have to fight. At the same time, as I said, I think she does want to get justice for those scouts that were killed. They didn't come here with violence in their hearts. They were just trying to scout the region, and you'll lured them to those houses on that cliff and killed them. You know, you said like, oh, let's talk peacefully. You know, zoinks, like, no. Oh god, what's the word I'm thinking of? Bugger. I've also noticed I'm getting cotton brain a lot more often. Psych, that's the word. My brain went to jinkies and zoinks. Yes, I did like to watch Scooby-Doo when I was a child. But yeah, so you lured them to this cliff, like, psych, we're gonna stab you. Again, she's not blaming the cultists, because their beliefs are weird and you can't argue. If they genuinely believe that they are weapons, not people, you can't argue with that. But whoever is wielding them should know better. Ooh. She's gonna try to appeal.
There's been enough violence. Stand down.
I earned my place here. Do you think I'll step aside for you?
Oh. Alright, and bap him. And do a spinny spin. Oops, flipping it, flipping it. Okay, you know what, take a potion. Come on. Come on, give me my bap. I need my bap. Yes! On the ground. And yes, he is down. Spinny spin to celebrate. Flipping heck. Out. And it's down.
It's done.
Provided no one stabs you in the back on the way out.
Yeah.
Your worship, the Blades of Hessarian are at your service. If you want eyes on the coast, here we are.
Yeah, can you tell me more about your group?
I've not heard of the Blades of Hessarian.
Our work is often misunderstood, but we serve Andraste and whoever proves worthy of wielding us.
And you just work for me?
You and your blades are loyal to the Inquisition?
We're loyal to you. I suppose that's the same thing, your worship.
You don't have to call me your worship.
So there's no ill will over what happened with your former boss?
The man was a bastard. You're not the first to stand up to him. You're just the first to win, and we're happy with that. Besides, I would rather swear my life to the Herald of Andraste.
Do you have anything to report?
Nothing of note, your worship.
Okay.
I should go.
You know where to find us.
Why do I get the feeling it was this guy who left the note? You know, he thought, ooh, Herald of Andraste, they sound pretty powerful, whoever they are. Like, maybe they'd, have a better time standing up to, this guy. I'll just leave this note here and hope they get the memo.
You alright?
I was just a girl. But I remember them, you know.
I know. We'll be safe there.
Part of me, I do wonder what they're referring to there. Part of me thinks it could be the Blight and the Darkspawn. I was just a girl, but I remember them. It has been 10 years since the Blight, so... Hardin Hightown Chapter 2, and we have read Chapter 1, so yeah, I'm happy to read this. By Varric Tethras. Magistrate Dunwald's butler had the air of a man who had never risen before dawn in his life. He stared down his nose at Donan Brennakovic and his partner, Jevlin, as if he were on some lofty balcony above them instead of standing in the parlour in his dressing gown. The magistrate is indisposed. This can wait until a reasonable hour. He gestured for the guards to see themselves out. The magistrate is dead, Donan corrected him. Wake the household. As the butler left, Jevlin shifted uneasily in his new armour. Shouldn't the captain be here? You want to go back to the barracks? Be my guest, Donan said with a shrug, only half listening as he studied the collection displayed in the room. A dozen ancient swords lay nestled in display cases, protected from dust and prying fingers. He moved to lift the lid of the nearest one. Jevlin started to protest, but then the doors opened. She had eyes the colour of topaz, and dark hair that fell across her brow like sword strokes. She strolled into the parlour with such dignified elegance that Donan didn't realise for several minutes that she was clad in a housecoat and not a ball gown. Excuse me. You have news about my husband? What's Seamus done this time? Forgot to pay his bill at the Rose? She seated herself and indicated the guards do the same. Donan nodded at the recruit to speak up. Jevlin started. No, Lady Dunwald, actually... She interrupted him with a wave. Marielle, please. Lady Marielle, your husband has been murdered. Donan took over for the flustered recruit. When did you last see him? Marielle stared at him, her jewel-coloured eyes wide, and her voice cracked on, Murdered? Seamus? But a heartbeat, maybe two passed, and she again became the perfect picture of noble grace. I saw him at dinner, she answered in a tone anyone might use to comment on the weather. He left before dusk. He said he was going to play Wicked Grace with the Comte de Fèvre. Do you know of anyone who might have wanted him dead? Jevlin asked softly. People want magistrates dead on principle. She gave a wry smile, but her voice grew pained. Criminals, political rivals, even people in his district who disagreed with him. She drifted off, lost in thought, and then turned to Donnan, eyes blazing. A week ago, a letter came. Vague threats. I thought it was nothing, but it upset Seamus. Who sent it? Donnan asked. It wasn't signed, but the seal was 6 crossed swords. So, Donnan Brennakovic, it's highly likely that Donnan was inspired by Donnic, who was Aveline's husband. Jevlin is Carver, and Marielle, I'm pretty sure that's Femme Hawk. Like, at least that's what the oh god, brain, work with me, please. There was a book, actually, you know, like Hard in Hightown, was published. It's not very long. It is just the codex entries, you know, kind of put together in a physical book. However, there were drawings. That's why I say that Jevlin is Carver, because when you look at the pictures of Jevlin, you're like, that's Carver. That's so obviously him. And yeah, Lady Marielle looks a lot like Femme Hawk. Also, Femme Hawk's name, Marielle, and we know that Varric likes to take his characters' names from the people around him. Excuse me. Ooh, yoink. And the conversion of Hessarian. Beloved Andraste, sit well at the Maker's side and know my sorrow, for my heart was weak until it served your greater glory. As she was my enemy, I heeded the word of the betrayer and so sentenced her to die. Thus she was bound upon the pyre so that all might bear witness. I'm reading this so weird. I'm so sorry. I am so sorry about my speech. I can't help it. I really can't. Also, I need a minute. It's very weird. It's very weird feeling, because I feel like I've been running, but I'm not exerted. It's purely in that, like, I feel like I need to take big gulps of air, but I don't. It's weird. It's weird. I'm not too fond of it. As she was my enemy, I heeded the word of the betrayer, and so sentenced her to die. Thus she was bound upon the pyre, so that all might bear witness. But as the prophet burned, a silence fell. For though flame licked mortal flesh, she would not cry. The hearts of the people filled with shame, and all were silent with her. I thought it defiance, and though I marvelled at her strength, my heart was yet unmoved. It was then the prophet raised her eyes, her visage wreathed with sacred flame. It was then I saw her sorrow and her acceptance. I felt the flame eat mine own flesh. I felt its slow death upon me and knew her suffering. Through flame I walked and drove the sword into her heart, and so the prophet was released. The Maker whispered in my ear, and knew I had become the instrument of his will. An interpretation of the conversion of Hessarian, written in 734 Storm, claims that it draws from a text written by Hessarian himself, remain unconfirmed. Oh, excuse me. Ah. Very interesting.
See? I told you.
All right.
Aye. A bitter note. A note presumably penned by the Blades' former leader. I do not care what the Inquisition claims. They lie to serve their own purpose. Do not listen to their corruption. These hills belong to the Blades of Hessarian. And have I not been good to you? You will follow my will as you would the will of Andraste. So you have sworn. Yeah, he didn't seem like a decent leader. He seemed far too, preoccupied. You know, this is my will. Ba ba ba. hopefully the Blades of Hessarian can do something better with their time, whilst Aenor is leading them. Now then, anything around here? No. Oh, what a cute little garden patch. Very nice. And you. Initiation for the Blades of Hessarian. The oath sworn by new converts to the leader of the Blades of Hessarian. You were lost, as were we all. Grant me purpose. You were unhearing, as were we all. Let me obey. You are the sword, as are we all. Wield me in her name. Yeah, this last bit, it's very dehumanizing, but they're doing it to themselves. Like I said, you can't really argue with people who are so deep in a cult that they believe they are, on some level, an object. Yeah. Okie doke. Now, I don't know if you heard that, however, my timer did go off, so you know what? I am gonna leave off right here in the next episode. In the next episode, I think I'm going to try heading over to this camp. Let's set that as active. There we go. Yes, in the next episode, we're going to try and establish some more camps along the Storm Coast. But until then, please remember to like if you enjoyed, leave a comment below, and if you wanted to subscribe, it would be very much appreciated. I've been Callista. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next episode.